Hello and welcome to the 45th lesson of A Course in Miracles. We've done this 45 days, y'all. So congratulations to all of us. I'm excited about today's lesson as usual. And the 45th Course in Miracles lesson is God is the mind with which I think. God is the mind with which I think. I laughed when I read what today's Course in Miracles lesson is because I had already prepared the session for today. And as always, it is incredibly appropriate for what we will be discussing. God is the mind with which I think. So I would like to open up by asking everyone a simple question. How often would you say that the average person prays daily? How often would you say that the average person prays daily?
I would say twice.
Twice a day. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, anybody else? There's no magical time for it. No magical answer, but anybody else says something to offer?
I agree with Khadija. I was going to say the same thing.
Joan put twice in the chat.
Okay. Thank you,
Yes,
Joan.
twice.
Thank you, Margaret. Okay.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, y'all, we all pray constantly throughout the day and night. Constantly, we are in prayer, nonstop. All of us, whether religious or not, whether belief in God or not, we all pray constantly throughout the day. And today's session is going to explain how that is. So today's session begins with, it begins at the beginning. In Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 5 of the Bible states the following. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So we can see that it only took God to speak the words, "Let there be light," and immediately the universe responded to the speech of source. If you are a follower of this channel, you have heard many times from many different sources that we are God. And in the same way that the universe responded to God's speech, so does the universe respond to ours. Not only is our speech incredibly creative, but our thoughts are as well. Most people believe that their thoughts are private. Let me let you in on a secret. Our thoughts are not private. The entire universe and beyond hears our thoughts and our speech, which are powerfully creative mechanisms of manifestation. Not only are our thoughts and speech heard, but the entire universe experiences the impact of our thoughts. Our thoughts have impact and effect. This point, this truth, is also reiterated by lesson 19 of A Course in Miracles, which states, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. This is a powerful lesson. The world we see is an effect of our collective thoughts, speech, and actions. So I've invited everyone on a few sessions ago to begin reading the book titled Making Love to God, where a group of high vibrational spirit guides called Ananda channels through a woman named Tina Spalding. And so I'm going to read a paragraph from this book about this topic on page 76. And the paragraph is titled, Every Thought is a Prayer. So on page 76, the paragraph says, there is indeed discipline required to fulfill this dream of love that we are dangling in front of you like a carrot. And this is the help that we are offering. The prayers you recite are important. There will be those of you who do not like this idea. So we wish to point out that you are reciting prayers all day, every day. You say, I am fat. And the universe says yes to that. You say, I am poor and nothing ever goes my way. And the universe says yes to that as well. These prayers are answered. And then you recite them again, even louder and with more force this time, as the manifestation becomes clearer and clearer. So do not say that you will not pray. It is all a prayer. Every thought is a prayer. So as we read this paragraph, it very matter-of-factly states that every thought we have is a prayer. Let's digest that for a moment, y'all. Every thought we have is a prayer to God and the universe. Assess the vibration of your thoughts throughout the day and understand that it is these thoughts that calls forth a certain experience. So if we would like to change our lives, let's change our thoughts. Let's change our minds. Let's be conscious of what we meditate on daily. What we focus on will and does continue to attract to us an experience. That experience may be enjoyable or it may not be enjoyable. That which we focus on grows. The beauty of this truth, y'all, is that we can simply change our experience using our own powers of manifestation. Source has empowered us to change our lives ourselves instead of looking to others to help us change our experience. There are many of us who think if we suffer enough and lament over our lives enough, then there is going to be an all-powerful being outside of us who is going to swoop in and save us from our miscreations. The universe does not work like that. The universe does not work like that. Change your mind and you will change your life. So for example, if we continuously think and believe the statement, I never succeed at anything, we will continue to have that experience of not succeeding at anything we attempt. If we continuously think and believe, no one loves me, or so-and-so is not a good person, Or how many of us have thought this statement? And I'm going to take it back to the country because that's where I'm from. So how many of us have thought, I can't stand her. She always comes with some drama. Look at the power in that statement. Now we have added passion to our speech and a stank face to it. Like the power, the creative power of the energy we bring forth to make a statement like that. These thoughts and beliefs will consistently bring us the experience of a like vibration. The same is true if we often think and believe another thought, such as, I am love. I am love. Feel the vibration of that thought. I am love. Imagine the incredible effect we would have if we often thought and believed that we are love, which we are. Imagine the change in how we would treat and speak to one another if every day we think, say, and add our speech with belief that we are love. What a fifth dimensional world we would have right now in this moment. We would be in the fifth dimension. The power of our thoughts is also demonstrated, y'all, by our guest, Dennis Bullock, who joined us on our last session. If you've not listened to his dynamic spiritual experiences, please check it out. I have never had so many people reach out to me telling me how impacted they were after hearing his near-death experience and his downloads. So check that out. So while describing his near-death experience, Dennis mentioned that once his soul was out of his body, every thought he had, he immediately experienced. He mentioned seeing a drop of water, and in his curiosity, the minute he thought about the water, Dennis instantly zoomed in to get a closer view of that water. As Dennis's soul continued to be fascinated with this water, he thought and said to himself, I would like to see that water at every angle. And immediately, 5 versions of Dennis appeared and saw every angle of that water. It only took his thought. It only took his thought. This is how responsive the universe is to us, though we don't know it. The universe knows us, even if we don't know it. It knows us as God, and therefore is a genie in a bottle to our thoughts and our speech, y'all. Now, as in Dennis's experience, while our souls are free of the body, we experience our thoughts immediately. However, while we are here in this physical realm, there's a time delay between the time we think a thought and when we experience that thought. There's a time delay because we're in this realm of matter, right? But the truth is, y'all, if we continue to be in a certain vibration and have thoughts based on that vibration, we will and do experience the manifestation of that which we focus on. This, my friends, is one of the ways that illness is manifested as well. This is how powerful our beliefs are. It is important to be aware of this because Gaia, Mother Earth, is raising her vibration. And in the higher dimensions, we experience our beliefs much more swiftly. That's why it is so important that we clarify our minds and raise our vibrations now. Can you imagine if everything we thought was immediately manifested, like everything we thought. Can you imagine that it just happened? Thank God we have a little bit of time to ascend. So let's use this time constructively, because I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but I've noticed things are happening very rapidly nowadays. I was in line the other day, like in the dollar store, and I was singing a song in my head, and the lady behind me started singing the same song. And I'm like, what is going on? You know, that's crazy. So things are just happening. The energies are raising. So this is something that I am consciously working on, y'all. Having the awareness of and being present with my thoughts and speech, being sure that I am speaking life and love into the world as opposed to fear and judgment. I have been struggling. I've been personally struggling with something. And last week, while I was laying in the bed, I said to God, I can't believe I've allowed this situation to get this bad. Like, I can't believe it. I said, I'm so frustrated with myself. I said that to God, and I fell asleep and had the most profound dream, y'all. I dreamt that there was a young woman standing in front of me talking about her baby to me. I did not recognize the woman in the dream. I didn't recognize her as anyone I knew. And I can't remember what she was saying exactly. I could only feel the essence of her speech, like the feeling of her speech. And she was being critical of her son, her baby boy, whom I was holding. So I was holding her son, who was a baby. And I remember in a dream his little round head underneath my chin. And I was holding him close to my chest. And as I was holding him, the mother of this baby was telling me pretty much she was done with him. I don't know why. I don't know the reasons why, but I could feel that she was frustrated with him. And as I was holding him, I immediately felt this overpowering warm energy come from my heart chakra onto this baby. It was like showered onto this baby. I felt an overwhelming sensation of love come from my heart. It was warm energy and so strong that my physical body like moved back as it came out of me onto this baby. And I remember in a dream being so surprised at how much I love this baby who wasn't mine. I did not know that I could exude that kind of power out of myself. And I woke up with tears in my eyes. And when I woke up, I knew immediately the message of that dream. I knew that God sent me that dream. It was a message. And I knew that dream carried a message for me because the message of that dream is the same thing I tell others who I counsel. I remind people who are critical of themselves to treat themselves as they would a baby. I tell them that all the time, that if their baby, right, was learning to walk and stumbled and fell, they would not tell their baby, I can't believe you haven't mastered this yet. I can't believe you're still working on this. We would not say that. We would immediately run to our little ones with a huge smile on our face, scoop them up, shower them with an endless supply of kisses. We would tell our beautiful babies how much we love them and how proud we are of them and how so very cute they are. We would share with our friends and family the joy of seeing their first step and the love and conversations we would have with others would never end about that moment. In the same way, this is how we must treat ourselves. We must treat ourselves with the highest vibration of love as we would a baby. We must be patient with ourselves like we would a baby. We must regard ourselves with the safety of non-judgment like we would a baby. We must recognize our beauty and our courage and celebrate ourselves for being here like we would a baby. And I knew that message was for me to treat myself like that, to be patient with myself in my struggles. And I also knew that it was a representation of this amazing love that God has for us. I've heard a near-death experiencer talk about that God has a supernatural love. And the first thing I thought when I woke up was, we do not love ourselves like that. Like, I've never experienced that. But only when we love ourselves are we truly able to love others. You know, Conversations with God states that to deny ourselves is a form of blasphemy. Why? Because we are God. And to deny ourselves is to deny God. I hope that everyone found this session to be both inspiring and enlightening, that we will all guard our thoughts, our speech, and of course our actions, and recognize them as the powerful tools of manifestation that they are. I love you all, and I thank every single person who tunes into this channel, every single one of you. I welcome your comments, your impressions, and your feedback. We are creating a community of people who are attracted to understanding the love of who they are and the truth of who they are. Please share these videos with anyone you think would enjoy them. It is our intention in this platform to share truth, love, and light as we all continue to ascend and evolve. Every single one of you are God. And like Dennis said, with the big G, there is absolutely nothing small about you. And I would love to hear from everyone. If you would like to join the sessions, please email me at acimsharing@gmail.com. So I love everyone. Is there anybody in the group who has any comments, anything to share, any dreams you've had that you feel like, wow, you know what? I had a strong dream too, and I knew the message of that dream. Anybody got anything to share? Brittany says, I needed that message. Thank you. Thank you, Brittany. Margaret, did you have something to say?
Hi, Loretta.
Hi.
Wonderful session.
Thank you.
You are so on point with prayers. This is something that I know and I try to practice.
Yes.
But sometimes I fall short of that. The self-love, how can we define that? when we're thinking about ourselves and self-love, does it comprise of what we eat, our health, our how we treat others, how we treat our own body? Because I said even the food, self-love also include what we put into our body.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's everything, not only spiritually, but physically and mentally, and what we eat and what we drink, and yeah. So that's something I just wanted to say.
Yeah.
You know, so but it's something I'm working on with God's help.
Me too, Margaret.
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
And recently, for me, who we surround ourselves with, you know,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
another form of self-love.
Yes.
Do you feel good when you interact with certain people? And if you don't feel good, give yourself permission to say, you know what? I send you love and light, but it's not working for me. And I have to honor myself. So thank you so much for that one.
Yes. Beautiful session, Loretta. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you. I was excited about it. What y'all think about the dream? Anybody got something about the dream?
I have a comment. It wasn't about the dream, but it was just about the session, how when you started, talking about how our thoughts are our prayers, it made me think about in conversations with God, where he says, like, what we resist persists. And it's like when when you're giving something so much energy to say, this is not going to happen, this is not going to happen, you are bringing it to life with your resistance to it, because that's energy. So when you talked about like our thoughts being our prayers and how we are constantly praying, it just took that like one step further for me, because I always think about that, like what we resist persists. So if I really don't want something to happen, I just don't think about it. I don't give it energy. I've gotten like better at that. But hearing from you today about our thoughts and our, being our prayers, so we're praying constantly, it's even gonna, allow me to exercise that practice where I'm careful with my thoughts. And it also reminds me how we are connected, like we are God, right? So you can't cut that connection on or off. So it makes sense that our thoughts are not private. We are 100% tuned in, every single day, every single moment. So I really love that. Like it's really gonna, challenge me to even think about my thoughts, and not just when I'm resisting something, but just my thoughts in general. So I loved it. Loved it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, you are absolutely. And you know what? It takes an incredible amount of presence. If anybody thinks this is easy, they don't have a realistic view of what
you have to exercise it and practice and just incorporate it into your life. And it's I definitely agree with that. And I loved your dream. I mean, when you tell someone to to treat yourself as you would a baby, I mean, that's like there's nothing left to be said. That everyone can relate to that. You can apply it. You immediately think about a baby that you love currently or have loved, and it becomes very personal for you. So I love that. So thank you for that, Jim, as well.
Thank you so much. I will never forget that dream, y'all. I will never forget that energy I felt. It really was overwhelming. Like it was, I'm just grateful for that experience. Like that's a spiritual experience for me. And I rarely remember my dreams, but that dream was a clear message. Cause like I said, right before I went to sleep, I was like, I was crying. I'm like, I can't believe, I'm still in this situation. I'm frustrated, and I was, and it was just the perfect answer. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I'm glad you appreciated that. And I just knew immediately, I was like, I gotta share this. I gotta share this with everybody. So
thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Thank y'all for joining. I love y'all. And that's it. Love y'all. Love and light. Unless anybody
Thank you, Loretta. Great session.
Thank
Bye,
you. Love
ladies.
you. Bye-bye.
Charmaine.